you're doing well. This morning, I'm going to start off the stream with some food. I'm going to get some food here, and we're going to just discuss some things a little bit. There's a little bit of a current event going on right now, something to pay attention to, and I am. So we're going to discuss some things, but also, gaming too. We're going to have a little bit of discussion. But good morning to you. Good morning. All right. Got the energy this morning. Get my sandwich, and I'm going to talk a little bit of a discussion today. Let me get my sandwich here. Hopefully they made it right. I did order a little bit of a different sandwich this time. I know we talked about how I normally order a particular type of sandwich, but this time I ordered a little bit of a different one, so hopefully it's good. It normally is. Normally it's very good. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Again, just gonna wait until I have my food in my hands to talk a bit. Want to use that brain power. I want to get some food first before I start talking. I do appreciate you guys supporting the channel. All right. It's kind of dead for a Friday morning, isn't it? It's kind of dead for a Friday morning. Alright. Almost to food. Just a little further. The snow is quite frigid. It is mostly ice. It is not melted. It's staying fast. And it is frigid at 21 degrees. Frigid. Yeah, I went out to get in my car and just just the act of walking out the door without gloves on, you feel like you're turning into a freaking popsicle, man. You just step outside and feel like every fluid in your body immediately crystallizes. Yes. So some of us are built for warm, some of us are built for cold. go get me a sandwich. And we'll talk. Bridget. All right. Let's see what it looks like. So it's turkey, bacon, tomato, and cheese. Mmm. Mmm. That's extremely good. So this normally comes with, I gotta be honest, it normally comes with Thousand Island dressing. And so does that other thing that I got. But I get it with no sauce. Because there's already a lot going on there. The sauce is just going to make the bread soggy. It doesn't need it. It's full of flavor. Mmm. Need a napkin. I'm gonna not have one. All right. And full of flavor. So, Current event. Now that I've got food in me. The deportations on the ICE raids have started. They have commenced. So, I guess I'm saying. So far, so far, from what I've seen and what I have followed, what I've looked up so far, I've not seen anything from the raids, from the deportations and stuff that I actually disagree with so far. Because again, remember, I always said to you guys that I will grade him fairly. And if I think what he is doing is just or has purpose or is good, I will say it. So last time, the first time around, the raids happened. Last time he was president, it sort of was kind of a disaster. They really didn't do things the way they should have. And in contrasting comparison, it is a drastic, I think, difference right away. So this is again, this is a good thing. Deporting people that regularly have records and stuff like that is what I'm seeing. You know, that makes sense to me. You know, before it really was pretty random chaos. I saw an article again. I want to reiterate that so far everything I've seen I've actually agreed with. And then I saw an article where it was like, okay, this you might not agree with. So I saw an article, I started reading it, and what it was basically saying was that I guess somebody who was military was detained in the process or something like that. And that's all it said. So again, detained, not deported or arrested, just detained by accident, just to make sure, check credentials, that sort of thing. Okay. Makes sense. But again, I didn't see anything aside from that. And again, that's so far. I am going to follow it. I'm going to continue to follow it. And you know, as I've followed all these things before, again, the first time around when he was president, it really was chaos with those ICE raids. They didn't do it right. It was bad. This time, yeah, like I said, I'm following a lot of these reports. And you know, as I just stated, I really do think it's pretty obvious that all they're doing is just you know, trying to, you know, go with what makes sense. You know, why are these people still here if they're constantly committing crimes? Well, that doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't want somebody like that. You know, like, okay, so they escaped their terrible country to be terrible? No, 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 no. The whole point is they escape something, not they do more shit here because they can get away with it. That I understand. That I totally agree with getting rid of and taking care of. It's just that what you have to realize is that when they first did this, some of the reports came out that you know, that's what it was, that they were deporting like sort of kind of accident, like oops, you know, like deporting people that should have been like actual citizens and stuff like that. And it was just profiling and stuff. But again, I'm not saying that this time at all, like at all so far. So, and remember, on an individual basis, sometimes, you know, with people, you're gonna see that people don't like other people. So you're always gonna see that here and there, once in a while. You can't hold everybody else accountable for what they're trying to do. For, you know, essentially, okay, there's this one bad apple doing this. I can understand that. And that's what I'm saying also about the person detained. Also, take that with a, you know, grain of salt. You know, so what? They were detained. Okay, they checked their credentials, let them go. Yeah, probably. But of course, didn't report on that. So that's so far. And remember, the point is that I'm just gonna grade it based on exactly what I see. I'm gonna read as much as I can. I'm gonna research as much as I can, and just give you my fair perspective on what I see based on what I read. I try not to listen to anybody else's viewpoint. I look at facts and kind of try to determine for myself. That's why I watch and listen to so many different people on subject, you know. It's such important. You know, if I didn't, you know, as much as I can't stand the memes and shit like that, if I didn't pay attention to that stuff and know what that stuff was still, like at the same time, as much as I hate that, you know, because you don't get your news and stuff from memes, just to be aware. That's why I hate it. It's misinformation most of the time. But the point is, like, if I didn't at least know about it, well, I wouldn't have the slightest freaking clue what "Let's Go Brandon" means, or like half of these things that people reference, you know. So like, you have to at least pay attention to it. You can't just block it out completely, otherwise, again, this can damage your base, you know. And I mean, like, there's a lot of things that do. And the point is, yeah, I think that people misinterpret, like, the want to be based for essentially the need to. You know, like, people are based because they need to be. Does that make sense? Like, trying to think of something. This is a really good example. Okay. I know this is gonna sound like pretty absurd, but like I'm pretty based about the fact that I know this is actually not a very good example, but like I can't think of I'm trying to think of another one. I'm pretty based about the fact that yeah, I need transportation. Now that's different for somebody that lives in the city, but I don't. So I'm pretty based about this. Like, based, man. Need transportation. And so, like, that can you see where I'm going with that analogy? Like, there's going to be some people that are, like, it's out of need instead of, like, people that choose it out of kind of sort of an arrogant choice. Like, they're choosing to kind of choose, like, the more irritating option to a bunch of people because they know that's the more irritating option and they can. That's not based. That's just you being choosing to be that way, you know. So I just that term, like, people use these terms to feel a certain way about things and it helps them feel better. It's a way to meme life. You know, people want to meme everything. They want to just remember the image of the laughter and joy they felt the first time they saw that meme. Every time they think about this annoying thing in life. I get it. That's what everybody wants to do. But if you forever meme life, you also forever resist accurate information and never teach your brain how to decipher the difference between bullshit and reality. And this is like everybody, almost everybody, like this is why you all seek content creators and you know, you have the slightest clue on how to find an answer for this or that for certain things. I'm not saying like you know, like you don't know about plenty about, you know, whatever field you're in or whatever. I'm just saying like certain things. This is why, because like your discernment for what information is versus not information versus just a bunch of nonsense you don't need isn't there anymore. It's just not there anymore. Your discernment for that isn't. Most people's isn't. I'll admit, even sometimes, like, yeah, like think about how many games do I play where like I have it already in my library. It's like a few bucks. I'm probably gonna play it for like 15 hours, 20 hours, never touch it again, right? Maybe. Was it worth it for a few bucks? Maybe. You know, like think about, you know, all right, so like if I'm not making that my thing and that's not my thing moving forward, so why am I spending so much time doing every like these little tiny games here and there? I find it interesting that I think most people wouldn't understand. I find it interesting that like somebody that plays PC games would instantly understand my channel, but then there's so many people out there because of the thing we've always talked about, this, just the way you view things, you just wouldn't get it. And it's not like you're dumb or anything like that. I'm not saying that. It's just because you look at it the way you look at it. That's all. You always play console games and stuff. There are a lot of times these gems that sit on Steam, and you know you have your achievements, you have this and that. You know, for me, I'm actually finding out that it's sort of like Brotato, like I don't know, like it just like a for some reason love for that game that I can't describe. That and Tiny Rogues. You guys know how much I love Tiny Rogues. Like some of these roguelikes I love so much. But like truthfully, what you have to understand is that with console games, it's immersive and stuff like that, yes. But then at the same time, with computer games, what I think it kind of gets lost on the console people is that you can have this whole different aspect to it where I think a lot of people on PC, they like to sort of kind of have this sort of in and out vibe where they might be doing something else. They're sort of kind of doing something else on their PC. They're focusing on something else, and they want to like have a lot of games where you can walk away from it without hitting the pause button. You know, something that doesn't require a quick resume or something like that. And you know, on Steam, you have all these games where I can spend 200 to 400 hours in a game doing all the stuff, and I spent $6-7 on it. And it has that simple concept of that retro graphics and the nice sounds and stuff like that, but I didn't fork over $60-70 for this, so I feel like I need to play it forever, and it's the only thing I can play, and now I'm irritated, and now I want to convince everybody else that it's the only thing that they should be playing because I spent $70 on it, and screw every other game, this is the only game, yada yada yada. This is what creates that mentality. It ticks people off that they have to spend so much money on games that they're going to spend 10 hours on, realistically, and they bought it for bragging rights. Let's be honest, teenagers buy them for bragging rights, which is, and I mentioned that because what is that, like 70 to 80% of the demographic for console games, for the sales. Okay, let's be honest. Okay, so when they're buying for bragging rights and they're just pretty much never going to play it, and then you don't even put couch co-op in these things half the time. What do you expect? What do you expect? So a PC is just gonna and do you realize how many couch co-op games are actually on Steam? There are so many. There's a ton of games on Steam that are like Mario Party kind of. What's the one? Pummel Party, I think. There's like a bunch of games kind of like that too. Like and again, remember, these games are like really good games, and they got achievements. You can play them for so many hours. You can play them endlessly, and a lot of times they'll come with a $15-20 price tag. With fix something with couch co-op. That's gonna be a little bit more, but it's gonna be a little bit more. But like some of them again will be like $5, $6, $7. And meanwhile, everybody on a fucking console is forking over $60-70 a game for something that's digital. They don't even have a physical copy of it anymore. No. Console's losing. The moment that you took away physical mediums, console lost its magic. I promise you that did it. Because you don't go to the store. You don't look around for the employee. Excuse me, sir? Oh, shit. Alright, I gotta wait. Oh, yeah. 5 minutes later. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Alright, now 10 minutes later. Excuse me, sir. Oh, thank God. Okay, can you please? I need a game. Yes, thank you. Please. Astrobot. Awesome. Yeah, Astrobot. And you're all excited. And then you're like looking at it in line. You're looking at it. Come on, just bring it up already. Come on. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. $70, whatever. Now you just want to play it. Yeah, now you're driving home. Looking over at it on the seat. Going around, looking over at it on the seat. Going around, thinking about what it's going to be like when you get home. Then you get home, You take the thing out, you have to open the stupid thing, you gotta get it open now. Once you get home, now you gotta get it open. Now you get it. Some of us like to smell new things, and you smell it. The smell of a new disc. You pull it out, you pop it in the console, and then you watch it download and install way faster than you can ever download a game, because again, it's just right off the disc, physical medium, you own it. And then usually in 10-15 minutes you're playing your game. But the point is, you worked up to that. Now you want that. It wasn't just like a quick impulse buy off a digital store. And remember, these people are impulse buying $70 freaking games because it's digital. So just again, I just want to remind you, you know, you have this whole Epic game store too. Epic has a launcher too. So why don't they do the same numbers that Steam does? Why doesn't Epic do the same numbers that Steam does? Do you know? A lot of it has to do with exactly what I just talked about, where again, you know, Steam has that base clientele that we just talked about being based. And, you know, a lot of these folks are coming from the Valve games, you know, because that's Steam, we all know. And, you know, me too. I grew up with that stuff. Grew up playing Counter-Strike and Portal and Half-Life and all that stuff. But like, that's the base. So then how does Epic actually make any money and stand alone on their own? They need to remember their base. You know, just like Steam doesn't forget their base. They open source things. They give people sequels even after years of thinking you're not going to get a sequel. You finally get a sequel. Please give us Portal 3, please. But the point is, Steam cares. They have sales. They have so many good ones too. And the sales, let me tell you something. You know how I have Dark Souls 3 on PC? You know how I have Dark Souls 3 on PC? And that's genuinely usually a pretty top dollar game, right? I also have that, by the way. I know you guys saw me playing that on PlayStation. Yeah, I own that for PS. I have a PS4 copy of that. So I do own that game in several places. The reason I bought that on Steam was because it was $3. Yep. And it was like that version too. And it's nice. Like, I like it. I do. I'm glad that they had it on sale and that I was able to buy it, but that's why I was able to get it. And it keeps me on Steam. It does. It keeps me on their platform, doing things like that once in a while. Giving away free games that Steam can barely sell as it is isn't how you're gonna speak to your base. Epic gives away some pretty cool games once in a while, and I thank them for that. But most of the time, it's not anything anybody wants. Most of the time, I'll admit, they get on was it Christmas? Usually around Christmas time and New Year's, they give away some really good stuff. I'll admit, the one year they gave away Fallout. I think it was Fallout 3 and New Vegas, I think. Awesome. Thank you for that. But like, again, like those are some of the better ones that they have given out. And I'll admit we've gotten some decent ones over the years, but it's been a while. I think they need to remember that. And giving it away, not so much. $3? That makes your sales and speaks to your base. Yeah, $3, man. Can you believe that? $3. There were times where something was like $3 on Steam, and then right after it was $3, it conveniently was in the free-to-play rotation on Epic. I'll admit that. So that was smart by Epic, figuring that out. But I guess that needs to happen more. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I think again, Steam does what they do and can do what they do because of their sales. I mean, think about it. A lot of these stores now, granted, people are starting to be aware of scams, okay, and they are starting to pick up on this. But you ever notice how some of the stores you go to in the mall always have a sale? Everything's always on sale in the mall. Well, that's a scam. Not everything's on sale. The price is that. It's not. They're making you think it's a. No, the price is that if it's always on sale. A sale is a sale from the normal price. It's being discounted from what the normal price is, and you can see that, and you can see the change from whenever it was previously the original price. So this is like the issue, like with like businesses, like doing it in person, is essentially the problem with people is that they showed what they're gonna do with supply if you put something on sale for too much anymore, like during COVID, how people acted like they hoarded things. So part of the issue with us not getting things on sale anymore is wholesalers trying to keep stock, essentially, of certain items and not selling out. Some things over COVID were discontinued permanently because people, the demand became too much for the company to want to keep up with. One of them was actually a hair product I used to use, completely discontinued totally. If you guys know the stuff I used to put in my hair a while back to style my hair and stuff, can't get it anymore. Physically can't get it anymore. People were hoarding it. it's exactly what happened. They were hoarding it over COVID. The company decided to discontinue the product. Because they would have just had to charge an astronomical price for it, and they're like, yeah, nobody's going to buy it for that. So they just went. So you have to realize that at a certain point, that's kind of what game companies are doing. They're charging an astronomical price for something they did put a shitload of money into, but we didn't need them to. You know what I mean? Like, nobody asked them to put this much fucking money and time into something that could have been simpler and been fun all the same. Yeah, I heard Star Wars Outlaws ended up being a pretty good game, right? I may have to play that, because, you know, you just compare that to how people felt about Jedi Survivor, because I'm not the only one. Jedi Survivor, like, you need to stand your ground on that. You know what I mean? Like story-wise, yes, fine, the game's great, but that's the only, in my opinion, the only good thing about the game was the story. Maybe the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And trust me, I was there day one playing that. I was the one that bought the unfortunate $120 edition. Wasn't it like $120? It was like absurd. It was like over $100. I mean, it was $109 or something like that. It was expensive. And then it was like, psh, psh, don't ever pay that much for a game anymore. Psh, psh. Okay. Lesson learned. I won't. That's kind of my point. It's so expensive. And then we just have like these companies that never let us down before suddenly letting us down, like Bethesda. Like, what is going on? Yeah, like basically just like promising us things and then not doing it at all. Look at what a company actually does. Like, for example, I knew Cyberpunk was going to be a good game, and I stood behind that. Even when people shit on it, I said, just wait. Trust me. Like, I stood behind it. Even when it came out, it was a disaster, I stood behind it. You know why? Because CD Projekt Red completely scrapped the entire thing and started over and took, like, what was it? The game was in development for like fucking 12 years or something like that. Just because the new systems were coming out and they wanted to develop a totally new engine for this new game that would run all the new stuff that was coming, you know, like ray tracing and all that stuff. They knew that stuff was coming and said, fuck, we have to do this or our game's gonna look old while it's new. And they were right. They needed to do it. But they took their time and they did it right. They made the engine. Yeah. They're the same people that made The Witcher 3. You remember how much you all loved The Witcher 3? Witcher 4 is confirmed. Same company. And this is how I knew it would be good. Again, we had that other game too to measure it up to, but then also at the same time, again, them taking their time and just not even bothering with what people were saying, you know? And when people said, you know, it should be better than this, fix your crap, when it came out, they did. the crazy thing is, I really don't think that they released that not even expecting that not to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the sort of thing where, like, you know, they released that and flat out when they released that, you know, I think they expected that to happen. They expected those glitches to occur. They expected some things to obviously I don't think they expected it to be that bad, but they expected some things to happen because, you know, it's the first, you know, it's their engine. It's the first game on that engine. Like, they're developing it for that game. You know, like, these things are going to happen. And also, if you remember, it ran extremely well on the Series X. I didn't actually have any problems with my Series X. Well, I shouldn't say that. I had some glitches, but it wasn't like the graphical and optimization glitches. It was just the hilarious ones where the car was floating. There were some pretty bad ones. Like, the game was in a really bad state. Let's be honest. It was. It should have been better, but they did listen and they did fix it, and I knew they would. I stuck behind it, and I think this is what is to be expected of Gran Turismo. Or I'm sorry, Gran Turismo, GTA, Grand Theft Auto. You know, you guys have been wondering, you know, what's to be expected of Grand Theft Auto 6, GTA 6, what's to be expected. I think you can expect a similar outcome to what CD Projekt Red did with Cyberpunk 2077. It will be released. It will be a complete disaster. Everybody's going to buy it. Everybody's going to try to return it. They're going to have to fix it. They either will or they won't rise to the challenge. There will be some devs and some pushbacks at the company that say it's just fine. You know, I mean, case in point, I love Rockstar, I do, but case in point, I have never been able to play Red Dead Redemption 2. I purchased the game full price on Steam a long time ago when it first came out. Never been able to play it. It always crashed, even to this day. Completely new system, totally different setup from before. Just physically never worked. The game physically never functioned. I've submitted tickets. They didn't do anything. Steam wanted... I submitted tickets to Steam. Steam said you have to go through Rockstar service because they use their own launcher. Because remember, when you launch through Steam, it launches Rockstar's launcher. So Steam doesn't take care of any of that shit anymore. Ever since those third-party guys started doing that, Steam doesn't handle any. They don't want to deal with it. It's on Rockstar to handle it because they're going through their launcher. So any problems you have... And case in point, that was right around that time they started launching that stupid-ass launcher. So, as much as I love Rockstar and as much as I love GTA and as much as I love the games over the years, I have never been able to play a game everybody's has been able to play. And it's like a game I'd easily be good at. Easily have a lot of fun with. And I've never been able to play it. Except for the first, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And then it was completely corrupted for me. Destroyed. Never to run again. On an account level, again. Remember, I have gotten, a whole new... I think since the original time that I had it, the first game, I'm sorry, the second game, since the original time that I had the second game, I played it for 10, 15 minutes, and I remember something about it, I was just going to put it down and come back to it later, but then I couldn't. I tried to come back to it later, it wasn't even that long, it was maybe a month or something like that, and it just would crash, and I was like, well, alright, I'll just wait until I get a full new system. I don't even have the same case. We're talking this is so long ago. Everything's new. Everything. Case, motherboard, just everything. This is so long ago. And you're talking like a long time. You're talking like a while ago. And still doesn't work. This has nothing to do with my system. This trash ass fucking Rockstar not fixing their shit. So those of us who play on PC, this is why we always know. We know about what companies do or don't do their due diligence because we deal with it. You guys don't. You guys that get just play console, you don't see it firsthand. Day in, day out, you don't see it firsthand. That's why. So yeah, I mean, just I just hope that like something happens with that steep price. That's just ridiculous. You know, games were that expensive a while back, then they went down, then they went back up again. It's crazy. But like, games were that expensive originally because it was a new technology and it was hard to mass produce. Like, that's different now. It's totally different now. Yeah, again, like, you got like, remember that dude that made Vampire Survivors, right? Didn't he just make it by himself because he was bored, like he wanted something to do in the office, right? Isn't that how Vampire Survivors was made? So like, that's the point. Like, people making entire games just because they're bored now. I mean, like, it's just a totally different industry. People actually comparing that. Well, things used to be expensive. People forget how much games used to cost. Understand why, though. If you have a new technology, it's going to be expensive. People don't know how to use it and how it works. You got one guy that knows how that whole thing works. Anyway, it's a good sandwich. It's a little cold at the moment, so I'll heat it up. I like I mean, like, I've been playing Diablo and Blizzard games for, well, all my life, really. So how many times can I go back and play that, you know? I do like them still. It's just, it's pretty repetitive at this point. How many torment levels am I gonna go through and just continuously level up? Yeah, I mean, that's cool, I guess. But yeah, like that's all I'm doing at this point, just from one torment level to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. So just adding torment levels at this point. That's, I mean, like day 3 anyway. But yeah, like I still love the game, and like obviously played it all those hours and still come back to it. That speaks a lot about the game. But I spent a good bit of time playing Here's the Storm 2. That was pretty fun. Totally free game, by the way, if you like that type of thing. That one's not bad, but yeah, Here's the Storm. Here's the Storm is free, and Hearthstone is free. I spent so much time over the years. Like, a lot of what I played over the years, when I would go to my buddy's house and we would play, like we would do LAN party, and I would like take my PC over and all that, like just like the whole thing, and we would play for days. Like the game we would play probably the most was StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2 and various Borderlands games, which is why I have so much experience. You guys see me just go right into Borderlands like it's nothing. That's why, because we played that. Left 4 Dead 2 was another one, along with Killing Floor 2, which is why I have a lot of hours in that. I just go right into that too, like it's nothing. Headshot after headshot after headshot. We just the amount of hours. So yeah, I have spent a lot of years playing and Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne. That's that's what it was originally. Went from that to StarCraft 2 because StarCraft 2 was coming out. And I remember like the biggest need for that game, and we discussed this too, was that, and everybody just thought it was their system. People didn't understand how the coding worked. It wasn't your system, it was the game. StarCraft 2 was capped. Like, it would say that it has like the sliders or whatever for like FPS, right? No, it's capped. It's capped at like, I don't know, like 45 or something. It gets stupid. And it's so obvious because the point is, at a certain point, if the map was a certain size and you had so many units, like the point was we wanted to do everything. And so because to avoid like server crashes and stuff like that, I guess they capped it, but it should have been able to handle 60 FPS. It could not. Like there would be like, if I had even a single fleet, like let's say I maxed out my flying fleet, and this no lie affected performance for sure. If I had a Protoss fleet of like carriers or Void Rays or something like that, this would cause massive performance issues. And we're talking about something that you should be able to regularly do with the game. And it just always did that. It just like literally it would be like like your things would be flying around the screen like like it's back in the 90s or something. And here we are in the 2000s playing this game, and it's just like, for the more shit that shows up on the screen, the lower the FPS cap gets. And it was just very obvious that this game had a redundant cap where the more shit that showed up on the screen, the lower the FPS cap. It would lower the FPS. And again, it was bad. So they just never optimized StarCraft 2 properly. And eventually they just completely shut it down and never moved on. Listen, do you have any idea how much Koreans love StarCraft 2? Do you have any idea? And you just shut it down? No. You should make StarCraft 3. And you should make it right. Yeah, you should make it right so it actually works properly and doesn't stutter across the screen when people play it and look like shit. This was the issue with the game. It looked like shit when people would play. You'd watch the point is, people would have to be like really, really strategic and use very small groups, because if they tried to do any late game shit, you would just bog down the server and crash. You just couldn't do it. And that was just stupid. You're removing an entire type of player from your game. And yeah, I mean, like we played for so many hours, so many hours. And yeah, eventually it got to the point where we started to learn that basically they restricted the game because they never optimized it properly. They wanted it to look good. They wanted it to have a certain appearance and have certain graphics, but then they couldn't even optimize the graphics, because remember, in the first game, it felt like you had enough resources at your base to build a base and attack the enemy. In StarCraft 2, does it feel like you have enough resources at your main base? Ever? On any of the main maps? Ever? No. And this is why there were so many custom maps with like unlimited and people adding resources, yada yada yada. They didn't want to accept the fact that they were creating a whole separate strategy for the game based on the fact that they did. Ridiculous. They didn't want to accept the fact that basically what they did with their game was they took the resources and minimized them at each location, so that so that they could half-ass optimization, so that they could avoid optimizing, so that way it forces people to strategize differently. It forces people to actually strategize where you need like 3 bases, 2 to 3 other bases, just to even have any type of healthy income or anything like that. Because you get a healthy income, all of a sudden all your resources are suddenly gone, and now you're being attacked. There is no mid to late game. It's only early game. It's only early game strategy that wins in StarCraft 2. That's it. And they didn't want to accept the fact they did this on purpose, very obviously, because of what I just said. It's very obvious because as you started making maps and you started adding those resources, you start realizing the more dense it was in those areas, you can't even maintain one base, and cap your resources without the game lagging out to hell. You can't do it. It lags all to hell. And we're talking about, how now I can just go in Warcraft 3 Reforged, even Warcraft 3 Reforged. When I'll play a mall or something in that, plenty of shit's flying around the screen. I can play Defense Grid 2, all these tower defenses with all this shit flying around the screen, just tons of shit going on, all this stuff, all these explosions, loads it instantly, perfectly fine. Yet StarCraft 2, just can't do it. So they ruined their game basically. They and the funny thing is they didn't even everybody loved it. But tell me I'm wrong. You can't. I'm actually right. Yeah, because that's the entire strategy of StarCraft 2 Melee. Early game tactics. Almost nobody did mid to late game. Almost nobody. Almost nobody. It was really, really, really rare for somebody to do mid to late game stuff. And that's why. Because they couldn't make it work. For that reason. Because that's the point. It would always break the game. Like you have to do so many extra steps. The game's not designed for it. It's on purpose. Yeah, they designed it for you to develop early game strategies only in Melee. They ruined their only game. They ruined their second game. So they should have came out and the expansions were just trash. People actually pretended they were good. Nah. The Zerg expansion was okay. Except that it was okay. It wasn't great. You just loved that you got a Zerg expansion. Yeah, it was okay. And Legacy of the Void, nah, that was nothing to write home about. What did we get? Just stop it already. The second game was mediocre. Y'all loved it because it was the second game. We should have gotten a third one. It would have been the best. It would have been like Diablo 3. It would have been the quintessential. Everyone would have been shitting on it, making fun of it because it's the third in the title. Would have came out, knocked it out of the park, and you would have all played it anyway. Just like Diablo 3. Just like Diablo 3. Everyone bitched about Diablo, everyone shit all over it, yet everyone played it endlessly for years and still plays it. And just don't stop it already. You love the game. And so like it would have been the same. And they just didn't. They're just like, nah, we're just not doing it. You know they were gonna do a shooter based on the Warcraft story. And then they just went, nah. Let's cancel that. The amount of things that I've heard of over the years that Blizzard was going to do that I thought was, like, cool. Like, you need to understand that not everybody's going to like something. Like, flat out people are going to hate it. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. Like, do you think that the members of the K-pop group BTS regret their life decisions because some jerk-offs on the other side of a keyboard can make them feel bad? No. No, they're rich. They can do whatever the hell they want now. Their lives are made, and they worked for it. They don't give a shit. That's the point. You have to not give a shit. You have to know, you have to have a better knowledge base about yourself and a better, like these guys that are investing in these games and stuff like that, they don't seem to have a good head on their shoulders with what people want in a video game. They seem to be people that don't really want to play video games or don't play video games. That's just how it seems to me. Otherwise, they wouldn't make these decisions. They would make decisions that make the game better. You know what I mean? Because they would be playing the game. It's literally that simple. It's like how many systems over the years did we get in World of Warcraft that were then abandoned, thrown away when the new expansion comes out? Like how many? So many, right? It's like so many. And I'm not talking about like changing the names of things, like like changing the name of a gear set type to something else like that. That's whatever, that's just a name. I'm talking about like actual like adding systems and then taking them away, thus making whatever you did completely pointless in said system. Like now you just now you might have like this little thing in your inventory. It's like a thing for the system that used to exist in the game, and now it's just pointless. It's just sitting in your inventory for no reason. In my opinion, when that happened, that was the perfect example of somebody who was not playing the game implementing something into the game. Because again, this was somebody that didn't play the game. They don't give a shit. They don't have any stock in the game to give a shit because they don't play it. So therefore, they're just introducing something they think will work better in the game instead of knowing that it will work better in the game, because again, they don't play the game. So then thus it doesn't work. They don't admit it. They'll never admit they're wrong about things, yada yada yada. New expansion comes out, they just try to pretend like it doesn't exist anymore. It slowly goes away. Then the new expansion comes out, everybody forgets it about this terrible, stupid thing that should have been gotten rid of a long time ago with a patch update or something. So that is, we've seen this throughout WoW's history and the history of other games too that have a fan base and a player base, where you just very clearly have developers and people making changes to games that they don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't play that game. They don't play those games. They just come up with some random ridiculous idea and implement it without trying it out. I'm looking at this bird right here. He's just sitting on the edge of the roof. I got in my car today. And a freaking, you know what a cardinal is, right? The red ones. A cardinal, no lie, like flew just like face first into my window. He was like trying to like get in. It was funny. Face first. I've seen cardinals do some stupid things. They're I mean, I've seen other birds do, but it's the reflection. It is. It's the reflection. If you get a big window in a yard, it'll happen too with that window because they see the reflection of the yard on the window. That's what he saw. Guarantee it. That's what he did. All he saw was just open. He wasn't seeing a window of a reflection. To him, it just looked like open, like the sky. He just kept moving toward it until he rammed face first into him. And then confusingly did the same thing a second time before realizing that's just a reflection. That's what they do. Yeah. sometimes they don't necessarily make the best choices. They just fly face first into a window. Little birds. Little birds. If the alts aren't him, why was he just in my chat typing about his channel on one of the alts? Yeah, alts totally aren't him, totally. People are fucking stupid. Like, if you actually believe that idiot, you're fucking. It looks like a nice day, it does, but it is a frigid 25 degrees. So I released a series of streams last night, and I want to remind you guys that the streams are being disconnected and interrupted because he's doing something to them. And case in point, we were only doing half-hour streams last night, and he made sure to cut one of them in half, like directly in half, on purpose, to sever the connection and stuff. So, you know, I gotta be honest with you, did you guys see how I did a stream after that? And I did a few after that too that you didn't see, like only up. I did that one for like almost an hour, I think. And I kept falling because I suck. But the point is, that's only actually happening, and the point that I want to prove to you again is, you know, we're only seeing the disconnects and stuff like that from what he's doing. And, you know, to prove it further, we're doing those streams now privately and then releasing them after the fact, and nothing's happening. Like this is what I was proving a while back too, where I was proving that he was shifting the bit rate around all over the place. He started changing what he was doing once I started proving. I was gonna prove that it was happening, that it would never happen if I streamed it privately. That it just literally never happened if I streamed privately. Because of that, it would still not happen. You know what immediately started happening a while back? I started proving that somehow somebody was watching my private streams. I proved that. And it wasn't me, because I hadn't even watched it. And I had just finished a few of these private streams. None of them had a single view on them. But a while back, when we were proving this, that the bitrate was shifting around all over the place, and that was what was causing the reactions, and causing the problems for the streams and stuff like that, I needed them to fix that. Well, the point was, we proved that it was actually not happening when I was doing it privately. The point is, if he can see the stream, he's causing it. He is doing those things. There's no problem with my internet. There's no problem with my system. He is causing the bit rate to shift around all over the place with what he's doing. I've told you this a million times, and he's been doing it for a very long time. And when I was proving it a while back, shortly after I said that I was proving it, and I didn't even say what it was. I didn't even say that I was doing the streams privately. You know what's crazy? I started to see views showing up on the streams that I was doing, on private ones that nobody had ever seen. Actual views. Yep. And now he's doing it again. Now he's clipping again. Because he knows that causes the issue. Yeah, and this is what he always did. Remember, I told you all I was doing was just talking about politics, talking about this or that, and he just starts clipping the stream to further exacerbate. And then I come back, and then you see a stream about like a hacker or something like that. Well, that's why I was saying those things, because as I was proving it, again, I was seeing views show up on private videos. Private ones that people can, not unlisted videos, private ones. Private videos only you can see. Yeah. So for the people that weren't around to know about that stuff and about how it started with shit like that, where essentially all we were doing was streaming, and I was blaming YouTube for the fact that my bitrate was shifting around all over the place, because I knew it wasn't my internet, and I knew it wasn't me. And then, lo and behold, I started figuring out that it wasn't really YouTube either. It was a person. It was somebody. Because they were very obviously doing it. They were leaving little tall tale signs letting me know that they were sort of doing it to screw with me a little bit. And it was this guy. And again, if what you're doing causes somebody distress and causes somebody's stream to break up and suddenly end, you're going to be upset. Like, we're going to be playing Starfield for the first time, and everybody's going to be watching, and suddenly the stream cuts out. And every concurrent in that stream that was watching it for the first time, that, that's messed up. Now that affects, whether those concurrents come back, because suddenly the stream ended. They don't know why. There wasn't a conclusion. Then we didn't have any. So that's the point. And consistently, we had those issues where that bit rate would shift around, and we would talk about it. And it wouldn't really get any better. It would just sort of kind of go away for a while. And so anyway, the point is, if what you're doing very obviously causes a response, and you do it more, like a negative response, then you do it more. You're the one harassing somebody. You're the one doing this to cause that response. That's what you're doing it on purpose. You like that response. You think it's funny, or you enjoy it, or whatever. That's the point. And I mean, like, the further I was ignoring this guy, the worse he got too. That was what showed me that, how harmless this person wasn't. The more I ignored them, the worse they got. I would ignore him worse and push him away more, try to block him more, try to push him away more, block him on everything. Suddenly he starts copying all my content, like, that's when that happened. Yeah, he's nuts. At a certain point, I just, I had seen the alts come in my chat enough times and stuff like that. I had decided that this guy wasn't letting well enough alone, that he was coming back and forth. So I just, made that decision to block him. Because I thought that was a good idea to make that decision at that point. So I blocked him and this other person that supposedly knows him, that knows about these things that's happening. And I blocked them all at the same time, because the point was I thought that was really weird, that they were doing that, and that he was like just reposting my streams in that manner, and like just doing it regularly. And then after I ignored it even more, after I was just like, whatever, like I kind of acted like he was harmless, and I kind of acted like it didn't matter, he got worse. He got fucking crazy. They very obviously like stalked Facebook, Google or whatever, to, just find pictures of family and people that I guess know me or something like that, and starts saving these pictures and streaming with them over top of his stream. Like, that's, I don't know anybody that does that. Seems odd, obviously. I mean, why would you do that? Really weird. If I just went into a stream and I saw a streamer with like random pictures of people on the stream with their names, I'd be like, oh wow, who are those people? And like I would assume it's like people important to him, maybe, or people that he's trying to recognize or something like that. And then he just reveals that these are like the close family members or friends of some random streamer that's on the platform, that he's copying all of his content and reposting it. They're him, they're his family and stuff. That would bother me. Yeah, I would feel like, wow, so he's really stalking this guy and just posting his family, and wow, okay. Yeah, that's really some weird stuff for sure. You go ahead and you keep showing what America's all about. I'll keep doing me. You know, like that's how I would feel about that. I would just feel like, you know, even looking in from an outward perspective, like that is really fucking weird, and that guy's got some problems. That's how you should look at that. And like, you know, of course it's him. Like, you really think the guy that has all those pictures on his stream isn't also the one creating the alts with the pictures and the names? Like, of course it is. Like, he's the one doing that, so of course he's the one creating the alts. Like, duh. That'd be like saying if the guy that robbed the bank, you know what I mean? Like, that'd be like, well, we found exactly 50 grand in this guy's trunk about a mile away from the bank that was robbed of exactly 50 grand. But you know what? I don't think this is the bank's. Yeah, no, I think this belongs to the IRS. I think this is theirs or something. I don't think it's the bank's. That's what that would be like. Yeah, that's like thinking that he's not doing that, not doing it for misintent and malintent or harm or something, would be like thinking that. That's exactly what that would be like. Okay. Oh, I know. Everybody's like, why does everybody hate Starbucks, by the way? I didn't get that meme. I got my straw, and I can't wait for my drink. Yeah, I didn't get the memo, guys. Like, what? Why does everybody hate Starbucks? I truthfully want to know. What is this? Like, what? Why do we just implicitly do this with companies? Like, what is the new woke reason?
Have a great one.
Thanks, you too. What is the new woke reason that we just like hate this or that at any given time? I truthfully, all right, so like what is it? Do I gotta ask Google this one? I'm probably gonna have to. This'll be a stream later, right? Why the fuck does everybody hate Starbucks all of a sudden? Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna have to ask. This is the usual thing. Okay. Bam. Yeah. Caramel frap. My little things on the side. Caramel frap. What is this? I got espresso on it. You ever done that? You ever get espresso on it? You know you can do that, right? Just ask for, just say you want a shot of espresso on it, and use extra caffeine. It costs more, but it's like $1.25, I think. Shot. It's not that bad. Oh shit. I just fucked up the straw. Time to flip it. Should gotta flip it. We good. Yeah, you ever fuck up your straw, just flip it. Should work. So, what's the new woke reason we hate Starbucks? So this is what people think about me. They see me. I wear the cat ears. This is what people do. That they label people, and they shouldn't do that. This is what I want to break these societal norms where you just label people implicitly as based. Based this. Basically, and it's just not true. Just like you saw me earlier fully admit Trump's apparently doing a good job so far. I could admit that and say that. Fine. Yeah. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. I feel absolutely no type of way out of admitting that Trump is good. Awesome. That's great. That's what I want. Yeah, that's amazing. I hope he keeps doing a good job. This is the issue, is that for too long, because of that divide that happened, and the reason I say this, because that is when it happened. It happened with the fake news. It happened with right then, right there in America, and everybody labels it as such. Everybody recognizes that was definitively when it happened. We all know. And it definitely happens because, you guys, and don't take this rudely, but you need to know how to look at people without, kind of grading them based on what you see as weaknesses, instead of just things that make somebody different. Does that make sense? You see me wearing the cat ears, and you see, I got pink, I got bright colors and stuff like that. Yeah. So what? It doesn't somehow change my views and how I view the world and how I represent my country and how I truly believe that we represent freedom, and that we need to that's the point, is we have our individual things that make us who we are, and that's okay. The point is, don't be based. The point is, I get it. It's funny to think that way because sometimes it feels that way. It feels like it's true. all people that are like this are like this. I get it. But take it as a joke. Don't literally take it, because it's not true. It's not. And you are harming people and yourself and de-evolving as a society to continue thinking along those lines, because it's not true. Truth be told, if Trump does a good job, I'll call it out. I'll say it, as I have just now. And I don't hate him, and also, I don't think that other people implicitly do too. I think it's the things he did that they were impacted by. And just truthfully, a lot of people aren't. A lot of people are not impacted by those things while he is. Or I'm sorry, while he is still doing those things. It doesn't mean that you're impacted by it, that's all. If you get what I'm saying. This is good. So, just remember, just because somebody's driving the speed limit down the road doesn't mean they're necessarily trying to slow you down. And I think this is the problem. Like, people in their vehicles behind me, I can see them thinking it. They think, oh, well, this is a means of, he wants to control what I'm doing. He thinks that we need to obey the rules. Obey rules. Liberal, Democrat, yada, yada, yada. It's not the case. It's just what you see. I want order because it helps me exist. I don't like disorganization. It bothers me. I want everything in its place. And, like when somebody is behind me, and I guarantee you I'm not the only one, this is how they're thinking too. When somebody's behind you in a vehicle and they're kind of like drifting back and forth, getting close to your bumper, it's in your brain a little bit. It bothers you a little bit because you got to be focused on that instead of what's in front of you. You're kind of concerned, like, why is this person kind of up on my ass right now, like kind of acting like this? And instead of being focused on what you should be focused on, now you're kind of getting a little anxious. You're kind of like nervous a little bit. And now this person escalates and just speeds past you down the road or something like that. Or maybe instead of this person driving down the road, they brake check, and don't brake check either. You shouldn't do that. But maybe they start tapping their brakes now to let them know, hey, you're a little close. All I'd have to do is brake and you'd slam into me. Now this ticks them off. Now they're really ticked up. The point is, why are you acting like that to begin with? Why not just match their speed and drive down the road, man? Like, why are you trying to pressure somebody? Like, I get some people aren't driving the speed limit and you want to go faster, but that doesn't mean that you can and have the right and should. And so that's the entitlement that on the other side that typically people see, and so it goes back and forth, where that's where I sit in the middle, and I do see both sides of it. I see one type of person that sees both sides are being too based, basically. This is what I'm saying. Both sides are being too based. Nobody is actually looking at it from each other's perspective. You are too based. That's it. Stop being based. That's it. Stop this. You know, if I can drive down the road and reasonably understand that once in a while somebody is going to be driving slower than I want to go, and I need to match their speed and slow down, and sometimes they might not be paying attention, these things happen, but me acting like an asshole doesn't fix anything. And I sure as hell shouldn't do it every fucking day. I sure as hell shouldn't do it every fucking day. Changes the way I think. Yeah, it changes the behavior of the way I act. Every fucking day? No. You're a different person now. Yeah, your demeanor, you're changing the way you are. Yeah, because a person doesn't change who they are. They change their actions, and then their actions change them eventually. So start changing your actions before your actions change you. Because that, you think somebody doesn't change. No. They do. It just takes time, and it only happens through their own actions. So I promise you let somebody do that behavior, they're justified now. Now suddenly they're the angry lunatic driving down the road at 80 miles an hour trying to escape the police just because somebody called for a road rage incident for somebody that was tailgating and following too close, and now he's driving past people, weaving in and out of traffic. Yeah, should never happen, yet it does. And this is people being too based. Good stuff. So, again, I want to remind you, like, you still believe me that they don't try to cause problems? They know that as I talk and I sit here and on a stream, they know that, like, there's something that they can do that eventually causes a problem for this device. They know that. That's all they know. And they keep doing it. And all that I keep doing is confirming this or that at various times, and so they just keep doing it. That's all that they know. Yep. So again, at various times, they really are able to cause problems for various devices that I stream on to cause the stream to end. And that's what they were just doing for quite some time. And they don't know what problem they're causing. They just know they're causing it until I tell them. So, like, this is why I sort of kind of don't say certain things, and I keep it a bit of a secret. All these people are doing, they're not hackers, they're not anybody. They're reverse engineering, scamming. They're trying to figure out how to be scammers by reverse engineering the problems they're causing. That's all they're doing. So they know about a couple of these things that I told them about a while back, and they can cause irritation. So they're doing those things and taking notes and just learning from it. The YouTube app does not implicitly itself cause any problems for my device. And why is there an alt right in there as soon as I say that? Yeah. Remember, anytime he's guilty, then that's when he sort of kind of acts. Remember, I'm not talking to this guy. Yeah, he's an idiot. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, again, he's a scammer. He's just trying to get views using my name. Do you remember all the alts that used to come in my chat and ask me how much I make streaming? How much do you make streaming? How much do you make streaming? There's like all kinds of stuff that like he used to come into my chat and say. He'd come in with alts. So anyway, again, it's you know, all you have to do is recognize that you know, you yourself are essentially forcing the other side to be based because of what you do, because of how you view them. You force them to be more their way, more guarded by what you do. Do you think that pressuring people to drive faster, swerving around all over the place, acting like a lunatic, buying trucks that are 3 to 4 times the size of normal cars, and showing up to peaceful protests with M16s and Kevlar and burning shit down, screaming that you want to lock up Hillary Clinton, trying to kill Nancy Pelosi and all these people and stuff like that, do you think that any of this has any impact on the base from the other side for them to want to agree with you? Do you think that any of this is any way to convince people, yeah, this is the guy to vote for? Or do you think that, you know, that's a bad thing to do? Do you think that, you know, you literally just, by the way, somebody with a real picture and their real name, that's a stalker. That's somebody that's taking those pictures and putting them there and coming in my chat. That's not a real person. That's just no sleep, creating these alts with people that he found on my social media, on other people's social media. He's just stalking them, grabbing their pictures, making alts, and coming in my chat to say various things. It's really weird. They don't like it, I don't like it, and the police have been called. So just so that you know, that's the situation. He's a piece of shit. He's an asshole. And again, he's restreaming every stream I do, stealing concurrence and views, and stalking social media, and creating alts, coming in chat with their real pictures, and it's the strangest thing I've ever seen. It's so fucking strange. And he has all this stored on his hard drive. So just remember that those people that are coming in chat, that's why I don't make chat available. That's why. Because he's just coming in every day. And remember, I did not talk to this person and give this person info or permission to do any of this. Anybody that would speak to this person is a complete fucking idiot. Yeah, anybody that would actually speak to somebody that sits there endlessly reposting somebody else's content, restreaming it, and then stalks all these people off of their social media, like real people, and starts posting their pictures on his stream. Like, this person has some problems. This person has some problems, and he's been blocked a few hundred times already on various accounts. And he's probably been blocked about 30 different times on various accounts, to be honest with you. But that's the point. He's made so many different accounts that you can't even keep track. He probably has different emails, so he's just making all kinds of accounts, getting blocked, using a real picture, somebody he stalked from social media and their real name, coming in my chat to type in my chat. He's trying to dox people and harm people. The other day he was streaming with a minor, with somebody that was underage in his thumbnail. Why would you do that? That's really weird. And I don't even know who they were. Yeah, like the point was that like he's being really, he doesn't care. He's just like taking these thumbnails off social media that he found, and he found some picture, I guess, of somebody that I knew, but then again, at the same time, they took a picture with somebody I didn't know, and this other person, I guess, was like a minor or something. I don't know, but they were in that picture too, and he was just sitting there streaming with that as his thumbnail. Like no lie, like all his every day so far, he's been putting like a new thumbnail as like a person he stole their picture from like Facebook or something, that like as like a family member of mine or a student or something, and he's just like putting that as the thumbnail. That's stalker behavior. That's very weird behavior. It's very weird stalker behavior. So, just so that you know, those one-off accounts that you see getting banned, that's because he's using their real picture and real name, and it's literally just a family member that's in the other room. Yeah, it's like one of my family members that's literally like sitting in the other room, or that I can easily message. Yeah. Yep. And he's sitting there pretending to be them, like they would have their real picture and their real name on a YouTube page. They're not going to do that. Stupid. And if they did, well, then that's their own dumb fault. But again, they're not coming in my chat. But yeah, those are all just him. Just like he's sitting there on each stream with the pictures like over top of the stream. It's obviously him. Like, he has those pictures. Like, he's just storing them on his hard drive. Like, it's so weird. Yeah, who does that? Do you guys randomly like go on Facebook, take a bunch of people's, like, do you stalk like content creators on Facebook, and then like take their family, and then like put like their family's pictures on your stream, and then just like stream that? Do you do that? Do you think that's normal behavior? I don't. I think that's like really fucking psychotic, weird behavior. I do. I think it's really weird behavior. Yeah, I've been talking pretty good for a little over an hour. had to return something. Okay. This looks correct. Yeah, I had gotten something previously here. That's why it didn't come with. So somebody must have opened it in the store, because I got something and it didn't come with the thing on the box, the thing that I needed. Yeah, it wasn't packaged in this. So clearly somebody ripped it out of the package. Yeah, everything's in here. Wow. Wow. It's actually good quality, too. Yeah, that's irritating. It was actually good quality. It was something good quality. And I was thinking lower of it just because somebody in the store was a loser. Because that bag wasn't on there at all. They flat out, like, gum. Time for some gum. Time for some gum. For some gum. Time for some gum. I've been gum in forever. Cool. This person has a Linkin Park sticker on their car.